wanna call me baby, go ahead now. If you wanna buy me flowers, go ahead now. Jeff, what's one of your favorite songs? Jeff, what's one of your...
Of all time?
Yes, but I have to know the words.
You make my dreams come true. Where will you? You make my dreams come true.
It makes me think of DuckTales. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
What song is that?
That was DuckTales. That was the next part of it.
Mm.
It goes do 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 do. These are so dark.
Yeah, I'm like a floating head. I wish that my symbol was on this side because I always put my hair on this side and it covers it.
You need some sun.
Say it out loud.
You're a vampire.
I'm a Cullen. Okay, let's do this, Jeff. I'm ready to
that mean?
freaking fight with you. Jeff, ask Kyle. If you don't know who the Cullens are, he'll help you out, okay? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
Board games.
and
Board gamey things.
my back's probably covered in cat
Why do
hair
you lean
still.
down like this? Like anyone can read it.
I don't know. It's all about what again?
Board games.
And?
Board gamey things.
Board games and board gaming things. That's right. That's exactly right, actually. We are here to do a video.
You always say that as so matter-of-factly. Like, obviously, we're here
Just
to do
as
a
an
video.
FYI, in case you weren't aware, that's what we're here for. And we're gonna do another installment of a little series called 5 Games We Disagree On. This will be 5 more games that we disagree on.
5 more games.
We're on to like 15.
We should just theme this Jeff and Jamie argue about games.
Well, we may as well, you know?
I'm so thirsty.
I had another really good idea for a video.
Is it get Jeff a drink?
No. We have 5 games to discuss that we don't necessarily see eye to eye on. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Jeff and I don't see eye to eye on quite a few things. Like number 1, that I'm better at him at games.
2, Jamie can't speak correctly.
You struggled to get that line out. Good one, Jeff. We picked 5 games that we don't see eye to eye on. Some of them are games that I love, and Jeff is like, eh. And then some of them are games that Jeff loves, and I'm like, ugh. So that's basically what we're doing. First game up on the docket today is Mysterium / Mysterium Park. Now, these are games that I love. So let me tell you a little bit about them, and then I'm going to tell you my opinion, and then Jeff's going to tell you his very wrong opinion. Okay, Mysterium / Mysterium Park. These are deduction-y type of games. In Mysterium, it's kind of like a haunted house type of theme, and Mysterium Park is like a haunted carnival type of theme.
But worse.
What? It's not worse. Well,
Continue.
actually, I do prefer the original.
Carry on.
In this game, one person is acting as a ghost, and they're trying to tell you how they died. They're trying to give you clues. They're like, hey, idiots, these are the clues for how I died. But you know ghosts, they can't just tell you, hey, this guy hit me on the head with a candlestick.
That would make the game much better.
No, it wouldn't. So they have to give you clues using abstract cards and images. So in the game, the ghost player is going to have a hand of cards with abstract art on them, and then they're going to be giving them out to the different players, trying to get them to determine who killed them, what they killed them with, where they killed them, all of these things. The guessers have to deduce based on what's on the card.
God, I'm getting bored listening to this.
That's rude. They're trying to deduce what the answers are. And it goes in rounds, and essentially Mysterium is a bit of a longer version. Mysterium Park is a shorter version that only has like really 2
Have
main
you said
rounds.
anything good about this game yet?
Yes, so many things. That's essentially the game.
What's the good part?
The good part of this game is number 1, it's freaking fun. Number 2, the art is really cool. You're trying to get people to read your mind. And as the guesser, you're like, I have no idea. But maybe they're trying to show me all this purple because the person that killed the ghost was wearing purple. You know, those types of things. It's very deduction-y. Anyways, I personally really enjoy it. I think it's really fun. We have showed this to many people. It's a game that you can easily get to the table with non-gamers and gamers alike. And that is Mysterium / Mysterium Park. Jeffrey?
Okay, first and foremost.
No.
Every friggin' time I play this stupid friggin' game, no one ever understands the clues I give. Ever.
It's your fault that you're a bad clue giver.
And I'm like, they're all purple. the killer has purple on, and everyone's like, I never would have got that. I'm like, you wouldn't connect purple with purple? Like, ever. Listen, I'm first to admit that maybe my brain works differently than everyone else. But every time I'm like, how are you not getting this? This is very obvious to me. No one ever gets it.
One time Jeff gave out a card.
Okay, stop it.
That
This
had
is the one time.
candles on it. And one of the potential murder weapons was a
I didn't interrupt you when
stick.
you were going on your stupid spiel.
I'm just trying to paint a picture. You go ahead. Sure.
One time in this game, I made the mistake of not like fully analyzing all the cards out, and I gave a stupid clue. That's what Jamie just anchors on every time. Secondly, I've admitted many times that I don't like to feel dumb in games. And every time we play this game and I'm giving the clues, everyone's like, why would you do that? That's the stupidest clue. And I'm like, immediately, I'm like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah, Jeff doesn't
You want to
like
fast track me to get me out of a game? Tell me I did something stupid. I'll be gone.
He be gone.
And this game, every time we've played it, has done that to me.
That's not fair. Sometimes you and I play.
Yeah, and you say, Jeff, that was stupid.
I'd never ever
And then
said
I'm
that
like,
to you.
fine, I'm done.
I never
Play
ever
this solo,
said that.
sucker.
I never
Figure that one
you
out.
You can't play it solo.
I don't actually mind this game that much. I would never play it again.
He would never pick it.
But I'll play it if Jamie wants to play it.
And we've played similar games to this. Like we played Rear Window and we also
I
played
prefer Rear Window.
Muse.
I prefer Muse.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I think I prefer Dixit.
We never played it.
I said I would prefer Dixit, I think. I said I think I would prefer Dixit.
Can you say that again?
I understand that we haven't played it. I said I think I would prefer Dixit.
Oh, you think you might prefer Dixit?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm aware we haven't played it.
Oh, we haven't played it.
Aye.
So that was the first game, Mysterium Park.
Stop. Every time.
For the next one, it's a little game called Cthulhu Death May Die. Jeffrey, this is your game. You go right ahead.
Cthulhu Death May Die is a scenario-based boss battler, basically, where you're just chucking a bunch of dice. So you are playing as somewhat asymmetrical characters that you can upgrade. You can upgrade their abilities by usually, and I understand that this is somewhat of a problematic theme, by going more insane. But not so insane that your character becomes completely insane.
Yeah.
So every time you get a little bit more insane, you actually upgrade your character. There's like certain levels, and upgrading your character means you get to basically roll more dice to do actions, usually to fight baddies. So you're going into these rooms. There's like end game boss or end scenario boss, which is Haster and Cthulhu in the base game. It's so fun because near end game, you have like 15 dice and you're just chucking them out on the board and causing chaos, and I love it. It's just so fun. The miniatures are beautiful. Ours are all painted. I love chucking the dice. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how you could not have fun with this game because, again, it's just chucking dice and killing bad guys.
Not all of us can be Rasputin.
I always play as Rasputin.
And I think that's okay.
We're not Rasputin.
No, Rasputin.
If you're gonna play
He's
Cthulhu Death May Die,
Death May Die.
You have to play as Rasputin.
It's the Canadian version. I don't dislike this game. I like this game, but I can't help myself but compare it to Mansions of Madness.
It's not the same.
I understand, but of the two,
it's only in the same like.
I'm
world.
literally always swinging for Mansions of Madness, but I'm not going to talk about that one. I'm going to talk about In Death May Die, and the reason why I don't think Jeff has quite seen what I have seen. I've played, I think, 3 or 4 different characters. Some of the characters, I'm like, oh yeah, this is really good, and some of them, I'm like, what? This is so
Which
boring.
one did you like?
I don't remember, but one of them was all about
the support character.
The support characters. So some characters are support characters, and
Yeah,
some characters are action
you would like
characters.
Rasputin because he's all
I
about
can't
fighting.
ever be him because you're always him.
Listen, I'm all about me.
So I think it really is dependent on the characters that you play with in this game, on your level of enjoyment. Because there were some games where I literally
pick a better character then, man.
How would I know?
That's not a game problem. That's
I
a
would
you
be
problem.
sitting there doing nothing all game, and then suddenly
Why didn't you heal me?
I'd be dead. Trying to heal myself, didn't matter. Dead. And I'm actually quite surprised that you like this as much as you do, considering how much dice rolling there is.
Yeah, but see, there's so many dice near the end that my dice luck just flies out the window because I'm rolling like 15 dice.
Yeah, it's very luck based. Yeah, I don't dislike this game. I'm just saying, like, I think the characters are unbalanced.
No, that's not true. They just do different things. It's very similar to playing like any other, video game or board game where different characters have different things that they do. Like you'd always have a damage type, you'd always have a support type, you'd always have a healer type or a tank. That's just
boring.
That's just games, man.
Well, I don't like it. I want to be the one that goes in and...
Yeah, you want to be Rasputin, but you can't because I'm Rasputin.
It's fine. Like I said, it's great. But it doesn't have an app like Mansions of Madness, which is like the greatest game.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, what are we doing? Oh,
All right.
I guess we're just going in to fight people.
What do we think of this Jamie take? Ready?
Ding, ding, ow. I just don't care so much about going in and fighting everybody. I also would like to be doing other things. Side quests.
Fair enough. That, I think, is a fair critique. Because again, in this game, you're basically like, the side quest is like, maybe destroy this thing.
Go find this book.
Yeah. But you know where the book is. You just need to get there.
Yeah. The next one we have up on our list is Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Stonemeyer Games / Bezier Games. I think it's a combo. I love this game. Okay, so in this game, this is a combo of 2 other board games, Between Two Cities and Castles of Mad King Ludwig. And they took those games and they went like this. That's what they did. So essentially in this game, you are working on 2 castles.
You're between them.
And you are sitting between them. So let's just say we're in a group of 4. Me and Jeff. I've got Jeff to the left and I got Jason to the right. Jason and I are working on a castle. Jeff and I are working on a castle. And
you're placing out tiles.
You're placing out tiles. And your score is the lower of your 2 castles. So you are motivated to make both of your castles good. And the different kinds of tiles, the different types of rooms have different placement rules. They have different scoring rules. So you are trying to optimize the tiles that you are getting. So essentially you are getting like, I think it's 2-3 tiles, whatever it is you might be drafting. It's been a little while, but you're looking at them and you have to decide, okay, I think this tile is going to work best for this one, and this one's gonna work best for this one. So I've got a tile picked for me and Jeff. Jeff's got a tile picked for us, and then we reveal them, and then we have to discuss mutually and decide where to place them in the castle to optimize the points. It's like 2 puzzles going on at once. I love puzzling. I love the theme of it. Like I like that you're building out like this Victorian castle or whatever. And I just think like it's so interesting to be working on 2 things, knowing that one of them is not going to be as good and that's going to be your score. So you're just always trying to make everything better. Mm-hmm. I really like this game. It's not like anything I've ever played. Go ahead. Yes.
This game is fine. This is just a game that is nowhere near my wheelhouse. We've played this at 2-player and 3 and 4.
And 4, yeah.
The 2-player mode of this game is not what I would say ideal.
I would agree.
It's fine. It's not ideal.
Yeah.
I struggle playing co-op games with anyone other than Jamie. And I have a very hard time playing this game because I don't like having to decide things with other people. I just don't.
He's an independent woman.
I just want to put my own tile out. And I don't want to have to think about your crap. Just let me put my crap out because I'm going to make the ideal move, not you. Is that sassy?
Yeah, a little.
It's a beautiful game.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some gripes with the game itself just in terms of the coloring. Mm-hmm. I don't know if my brain just struggles with it in general because I have a hard time seeing.
It makes you overwhelmed.
It definitely makes me feel overwhelmed. And then adding on top of that I have to talk to people.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to people, which is weird because I'm a chatty guy.
Yeah.
I would love this game so much more if there was some way
you could just work on your own castle.
To just do my own thing, like King Domino.
Yeah. I do think a big part of this game also, and I know it would change it up for me.
And Jamie's really effing good at these types of games, which also
really
pisses me off because she picks them for that purpose alone.
But you do have to play this game with other people who are also into this game, because if
Yes.
you're not, then
Yes.
if you're working with
You're
someone
screwed.
who's like, I don't care,
Yep.
put it wherever you want.
Yep.
It's really annoying.
Yep, it's not fun.
Don't be that person. Just have fun.
Which is why I normally wouldn't play this game, because I would be that person.
Meaner.
Because I just don't want to. Especially if you're playing this game with a lot of indecisive people. Ugh. Where do you think this one should go? I don't know. Where do you think it should go?
Jeff and Jason working on one castle.
That's who I was next to last time.
I know. But then I was working with Acacia and we were crushing it.
Yeah. And
And
Jason and I
then-
are like, well, where do you... Oh, I don't know. Where do you think you should put it? Where do you think... Like,
And they were both just
that's
kind of
the-
like, I
That's
don't
this
care.
whole game for me. Where should we put it? I don't know. Where do you think we
This
should put
is
it? Oh,
like,
where should you put
this
it?
is literally like Jeff and I putting furniture
Choosing
in a
food.
house or choosing food.
Where do you want it? Jamie's like, I'm hungry. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? You
I
said
don't
you were
know.
hungry. Well, I don't care. Where do you want to eat?
We are going to talk about a little game called Baseball Highlights. 1495? 1945. 1453. 1475. 2045. We got there, peeps.
Baseball highlights. You are drafting a team of baseball players, robots, etc. Cyborgs. So
Beep
you
boops.
have players that are kind of loosely based off of current baseball players or retired baseball players, as well as robots and cyborgs. And they all do different things. And really, in baseball highlights, you're playing baseball. You're pitching, you're hitting, you're running around the bases. It's incredible. If you like baseball, you will love baseball highlights because it's exactly what you're doing. You're building up points in order to get better players to join your team. You always start with kind of like generic players. It's a deck builder.
Mhm.
You're starting out with like generic players and you're adding to your team as you score more points. There's a mechanic where like you can hit with a certain amount of players, but if you don't, you keep those players for the next round, etc., etc., etc. You're moving your guys around the baseball diamond depending on how far you've hit the ball, and your cards will tell you that. Like, is it a home run? Is it a double? Is it a triple? Is it a single? Some of your players are faster than others, so depending on if you get a hit, what does that mean? It's so good. I frigging love it, and we never get to play because Jamie's such a poop about it. And it's ridiculous because she can't understand how to run around the bases.
I don't get it.
It's the most simplest mechanic. It's like, okay, someone's at first base, they move to second and third.
No, listen. Here, it's
so
my
true.
turn.
It's so true.
Here's my turn. Why overcomplicate it?
It's not complicated. It's not. It's base running.
But it
101.
literally could be,
You've played baseball.
hey, you've hit a single. Perfect. Boop.
Yes, that's what you're doing.
No, Jeffrey, because sometimes that's not what you're doing.
Yes, if you hit a single and someone's on the base that's a fast runner, they might move two bases.
Yes, that's the thing. Okay, so
But
there's
you know that.
slow runners, there's regular runners, there's fast runners. So it's like you hit a single, but some of them are like, screw you, I'm running two, and and I'm like, what? Wait, why?
Because they're
And
fast.
The point is, I don't get it. The game is really cool. I kind of wish that it wasn't baseball and that it
What
was
would
a
it
sport
be?
that I liked better.
They have football highlights.
I want basketball.
Ugh.
But that would be very confusing too, I'm sure. But I learned this game, I taught the game, and even then I was like, to be honest, I don't know how the base running works. I still don't know. I do think that I like this game, but like when we were playing, every time it was my turn and my player hit, I would be like,
Oh my God, it was ridiculous.
I would like look at Jeff and be like, here? And he was like, no.
Oh my
I just
gosh.
I feel like it, keep it simple, stupid. You don't
It
need
is
to
simple.
overcomplicate baseball.
It is simple.
I wish it was, they should come out with a T-ball version. It's like an introductory, level.
Jamie would prefer this game if everyone just ran one base at a time.
Yeah.
It's like, bloop.
That's
Oh,
usually-
everyone just bunts. It's like,
Yeah. Exactly.
Go to first. Boop.
Yeah.
Go to first and second.
Why not?
Boop. First, second, third. Oh, gonna get a run. Boop. Ooh, gotta run.
I think it's fine. I think we do need to play it more. We need to play it again. But it is one of those things where I'm literally just sitting there looking at the board, being like, okay, you don't need to ask how many bases. You can figure this out. And I'm like,
She can.
I can't figure it out. I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one out there. People find this complicated.
Do they?
Yes.
Based off of what?
The internet.
Have you? No, wait. Has anyone?
Uh-huh.
Where?
I think even Michelle said it was confusing.
Michelle.
I don't remember.
I don't think she did. They love baseball.
I know. That is baseball highlights.
2045.
1732.
They have baseball in the 1700s? When was baseball invented?
That's a good question.
When was baseball?
I'm going to say
Invention.
late 1800s.
Baseball invention.
1908.
Wow, Jeff.
When was the...
1839.
1839.
Cooperstown.
Cooperstown. We have heard that a young man named Abner Doubleday.
Never heard of him. Did you know
Oh.
that? What?
A Civil War hero named Abner Doubleday is often credited with developing the game in 1839, but the real history is older and more complicated.
Is there a documentary on this? Who was Abner Doubleday? What a name. What a name. A Cooperstown businessman, that's who he was. Turns out it was actually
Well, it
Hercules
would have been
that
based
invented
off of cricket, right? It had to have been. I'm not
it. Is
reading.
cricket older than baseball?
Oh yeah, I'm not reading all that.
Okay, we got one more game to talk about. That game is called Agricola. Jeffrey, tell the people about Agricola.
Agricola. Agricola.
Okay, I won't do it anymore.
Agricola is a Uwe Rosenberg masterpiece where you are basically building out a farm. And you're having tiles that are going to change up every game that are different action selections that you take. So you can collect resources to build fences or collect vegetables to build into your garden. You can plow a field, you can build fences, you can develop your house to make your house bigger so that you can have more children. And then those children turns into workers, which gives you more workers to put out on the board to take more actions.
Kids aren't supposed to work.
And ultimately, you're trying to make sure that every time the harvest comes up, so a harvest is going to come up more and more frequently as the game continues so that you can feed your family. And you can do that by turning your vegetables into food, by baking bread, by butchering your animals, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Agricola is incredible, especially when you add the cards in. Every game is somewhat different. I never, ever get sick of playing this game. I'm not good at it, and I still love it. I don't know if I've ever won. There's a reason why a lot of people love this game and why it's stayed in the BGG top 100 for so long, because it's incredible. And Jamie is bored and tapping me on the back.
No, I'm listening.
I love Agricola. I don't care what you say. It's so good. And I know that people will agree with me more than they'll agree with Jamie on this one. So
This is kind of like if somebody made a board game about your dad's life.
my dad's life?
Yeah,
I guess.
because he's a farmer.
I think you
And
would like it if you played it again.
We have the big and small. We haven't played that. I am curious to know if that will make a difference.
I think if you played
But
normal,
here's
probably
the
not.
deal. Talk about making a game more complicated than it needs to be.
Agricola is not complicated.
Talk about having to feed your family. We play board games to escape real life. And here it's
Do
like,
we?
hey, idiots, if you don't pick this corn from your field, your kids are going to die.
They don't die. You get beggars, which score negative points. So if you can't feed your family, you have to beg for food.
That
And that
sounds
is
like
not
real
good.
life.
You do not want to take beggars in this game. Bad news bears.
Bad news bears. So this is like the game of life farm edition. You are literally just like, what am I going to do on this turn? I guess I'll plow this field. And then you're like, what am I going to do on this next turn? I don't know. I guess
Maybe plant some wheat.
I guess I'll plant some wheat. You're not helping it. Then you're like,
What do you mean?
Then suddenly you're like, now I'm going to kill all my animals.
Well, that's not true. You kill whatever you need to make food.
I don't like it.
Or you could go fishing. You don't have
Food-
to kill your animals. You
food
can go
comes
fishing.
From the
and get food.
grocery store.
You can go fishing and get food.
Food comes from the grocery store. You don't need to do it yourself.
Not back in the 1800s, early 1900s. It was
This
all farm.
game was
farm fresh.
invented when baseball was invented.
Wait a second. You
Too
want a
old.
friggin' garden
Yeah, to
and
have
chickens.
tomatoes. I don't want to eat the chickens.
If we get chickens, we're eating them.
I'm not eating chickens.
Yeah.
I don't like chicken. I want them to poop out eggs and eat the ticks. Anyways,
That's
the point
how it
is, I
works.
find this game horribly boring. I find
Ugh.
it to be too long and too complicated. And I also find it to be just... I don't know, it's just that I don't, it's just what it is that I just don't care about it. I've played this game twice, only twice.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I
a
think
problem.
that's it. And each time I've been sitting there being like, I feel like I can't even do anything in this game. And then because suddenly your kid is like, Mom, feed me. And you're like,
You don't even have to get a kid.
why did I even have you?
Yeah, you don't have to.
Well, you think that's the right thing to do in the game.
Well, yeah, to get more
Because then you need
workers
to
would
put
be
your
great.
child
I'm
labor
saying you
out
don't
there.
have to. You don't have to have a child.
Well, then who's going to do my work for me?
You do it yourself.
I'm one person.
Well,
It's
listen,
just,
beggars can't be choosers.
well, you'd have to have beggars because
Beggars are bad. You don't want to beg.
Does this game sound interesting to you?
Yeah, Agricola is
Tell me.
incredible.
Please, if you were just to hear about
Agricola
this game.
is like perfect.
I think that it's just because it's old and it's
Oh my
Uwe and
God.
everybody's like, oh, it's amazing. And I'm like, I don't think. Have they tried New York Zoo? Do they want to try a good Uwe game?
You were just crapping on Uwe, and then you bring up New York Zoo, which is another
I'm
game
telling
by
them,
him.
if you want to play a good Uwe game, there's New York Zoo, there's Patchwork, even Hallertau.
That's a spicy take.
Hallertau is better than Agricola and A Feast for Odin.
I can't wait for our comments.
Combined. Fight me on it. I don't
Can't
care.
wait for
I
those
don't care.
comments.
Agricola. That's my take on Agricola. And now you know. So those are 5 more games that we disagree on. Let us know who you agree with. Probably not me. Usually
Not on
it's
that
not.
one.
That is all that we have for you guys today. If you're interested in buying board games like any
Agricola.
of the 5 that we talked about today, you should first start by checking out your friendly local gaming store. And for us here in Halifax, that is...
Boardroom Game Cafe.
It is. I have seen many of these games there.
They have Agricola.
Do they?
Yep.
That's all we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see,
Please subscribe.
we hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Later days.
It's Twilight.
There's people from my high school with last name Cullen.
There is. Were they vampires?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, you'd know.
We should do that right now. That should be this video.
Do you want to do that as this video?
Yeah.
Okay. Scratch all of what we just said. Do we need to restart everything?
No.
Oh, but that was supposed to be the Board Games and Brew. Can we do it next?
Fine.
Okay. I don't even like her, so. Are you ready?
Yep.
That's what I'm going to start doing. Put my finger in your mouth and you yawn. I need to go clean my grabbers.
I must go clean my grabbers.
Tut, 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 tut. A little filler game called A Feast for Odin.
Anywho.
What are we disagreeing on? The game sucks. Do we agree?
Pivot.
Pivot. Jeff doesn't know what that's from because he doesn't watch Friends. It's Dirt Bike Kids. They have an adult with them today.
At me the whole time, not knowing what I was pointing out.
I thought you were pointing at Dirt Bike Kids.
I literally was pointing out that the camera had turned off and Jamie was still staring at me.
I just like to look at you.
Yeah, right. It's one of most... My brain is mush.
It's one of most.